My name is Natani Notah. I'm an artist currently based in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and this is my first solo exhibition with Document. In the exhibition, titled Thoughts on Being Thrown, there are 8 works on paper and 7 soft sculptures. For my works on paper, I often use mixed media, and they're composed of both drawing and collage processes. It's really important for my hand to alter it in some kind of way, cutting around certain shapes and taking texture and painting on top of it creates this really layered, beautiful effect. There are drawn elements where I use graphite, acrylic, and watercolor to create lines or shapes that connect collaged elements to one another. For the works on paper, there's often 2 recurring symbols. One of them is a tuft of hair. That tuft of hair, to me, symbolizes a long history of colonial violence in the United States towards Native American peoples. I think of the history of residential boarding school when Native children were forced to cut their hair. I also think of histories of war and violence where hair was taken. Another reoccurring symbol throughout the work is a hogan, which is a Navajo dwelling. It's a representation of home. It's often depicted being connected to other elements in the collage. To me, it's an attempt to show there is always a connection to where you come from. In my practice, I also make soft sculptures. Those soft sculptures are made out of leather, different fabrics and fiber, as well as artificial fur and beadwork. The soft sculptures are filled with an artificial corn pellet, which is normally used to create cornhole bags. I thought that this was important to fill the soft sculptures with something that was dense to create a weight. There's also nice moments where the leather or the fabric stretches and the inside is filled to the point where you can see some of the texture, and it creates this dimple. It's very bodily. It looks almost like a cellulite or a stretch mark or muscle underneath the skin. These corn pellets are often used to create these cornhole bags that are thrown in a game, which loosely connects to the title of the exhibition, Thoughts on Being Thrown. Part of my process involves writing. The title of the exhibition comes from a poem that I wrote. It talks about the symbolism, I think, better than I can. To be held by your mother during the onset of a massacre. To be tied into your cradle board as your father runs at the Calvary. To be thrown into the water as your mother prays for your holding breath. To be drowned in tides as pieces of your family travel back to the spirit world. To be picked up by another woman who brings you to her breast, calls you her little one. I recall being held, tied down, thrown, drowned, and picked up again.